impact on the way they perform. So when we're thinking about a multidisciplinary project, not thinking about people is almost. I haven't got any handouts. This will all go on Blackboard. Not thinking about the way people use the building is going to have a big impact on whether your installation is successful or not. And we see this an awful lot in the domestic sector, but it's also true in the non-domestic, whereby an engineer comes and puts things in. So they may put something like a mechanical ventilation heat and recovery unit in, so to ventilate the property, or they may put new controls in, and then the user does something unexpected, and it means that something doesn't perform. You see an awful lot of this with air source heat pumps. The Daily Mail is all over these air source heat pumps because people don't know how to use them. So instead of getting lower energy bills, they're getting energy bills that are twice as much because they're not using them in the way that the manufacturer or engineer intended. So we've got to think about what are the characteristics of people's behaviours that lead to different patterns of energy use that we might expect. So that's really the first thing. Why do we need to think about it? You know, at the end of the day, we're builders, we're surveyors, we're engineers. Why do we actually have to bother about this stuff? The second issue really is to think about what are those issues, to identify what are the different factors that influence the way that people use buildings, and then how can we address them. So it's a relatively short session. If anybody wants any follow-up, obviously, you know, can email me. I've got a few references at the end. There's not a massive body of work in terms of this and retrofit, but there's some quite good case studies on the internet. Okay. What has behaviour got to do with buildings? You might as well ask what has behaviour got to do with cars. Cars are an engineered thing in exactly the way that buildings are, but if you behave badly in a car, you will crash it, you will break it, and you know, it is required that you behave in a certain way and operate a car in a certain way and understand a car in a certain way. We don't really have that with buildings, despite the fact they're actually quite complicated things in a lot of respects. We sometimes have, in large buildings, we'll have building professionals, facilities managers, but it's surprising how many of them don't really quite understand how their building functions, especially older buildings where the people who were around when it was commissioned and built are long gone, and somebody's left with a sort of hazy understanding of how to operate a building.